I haven't filmed a sit-down video in like 4.5 months. Hopefully this doesn't take 10 years and hopefully you all still remember me. So in spirit of back to school, I'm going to be doing a school video. In light of the fact that I've been in university for now 4 years going on 5, I feel like I'm pretty well adapted and could give you some helpful tips. But you know they won't be normal tips because that's not my style. So here are controversial tips for college that nobody tells you. Number 1, unless you are like 85% sure what you want to do with your life, do not go to college right out of high school. I cannot tell you how many friends I have that have gone to college that didn't know what they wanted to do and just kind of took something that they were sort of kind of interested in, dropped out of their program after a year or less because they didn't like their program. Actually, I probably can't. There's like 5-ish. Now I know what you're thinking, and college can be a place of self-discovery. By the way, I totally don't know what you're thinking. How could I possibly know that from looking at a camera? People always seem to say that. Anyway, it can be. But it's freaking expensive. Always. It's so expensive. Do your self-discovery somewhere else, like somewhere free. If you want to be a dentist, go find a dentist to volunteer for or something, or take a co-op in high school. If you're still in high school, do that. That's a really good idea that I did not take advantage of, by the way. Don't be pressured to go to university or college right out of high school. You have so long to wait to do anything you want to do in life. Don't be pressured by your parents or teachers or whomever to apply in January of grade 12, by the way, when everything's like due. Personally, I took a year off and it was kind of a waste of time because I already knew what I wanted to do pretty much 1000%. Honestly, I probably still could have used that year to volunteer and stuff. I was dumb and I didn't really do that. I went to work and I didn't save any money, but yeah, kids, learn from me. Number 2, when you're in university or college, don't do all the readings. If you do all your readings, you will literally have no life and you will be unhappy and your mental health will suffer and therefore everything else in your life will suffer and you will be miserable. Learn how to read smart rather than quickly, which is basically looking at headings and very important words like bolded and important sections basically, so that you won't be bombarded with a million pages rather than just a few simple ideas. Number 3, do not worry about grades. This sounds kind of ridiculous and it's sort of just a different way of looking at it while still getting good grades. You can get good grades if you don't worry about your grades, because if you channel your passion for what you're doing, which you followed step 1, you'd be in college for something you really want to do, then you will love what you're doing and your grades will come. Getting stressed over little tiny marks like I got a 98 instead of a 99 is literally the least of your worries, and you will drive yourself and people crazy. Going right along with this idea, if you spend all your time worrying about getting a 99, you won't have any time to do anything else. I'm sure you can see a lot of problems with that, but the main one is that you won't get to do any volunteering or extracurriculars or anything like that. You won't enjoy your time in college or university, and you also won't have any experiences for when you actually are applying to jobs. In most fields, this is pretty much the most important thing. Your grades do matter somewhat, but they don't matter as much as your experience and how much you can apply the material you've learned to your actual job. Number 4, do not take bird classes just because you think that you can get a great grade. This kind of goes back along with what I was just talking about, but if you actually really love what you're doing, you will do well. You may have to work extremely hard just to get a decent grade, but honestly, in the experiences that I've had, they are my favorite classes. Last semester, I took an intro to literary theory, and I'm not an English major as much as I wish I was, sort of, and I really wish that I had more time to take more English classes. I don't remember my exact mark in that class, but I know it was one of my lowest for sure, and it was something like a 76, and that's not bad at all, trust me, but I had to work so hard for that grade. That was my favorite class I've ever taken. I learned so much, and I'm applying it to everything I'm doing in life because it was sort of a philosophy, English, literary theory hybrid. And tip number 5, I have more, but I just kind of wanted to make it 5. Bring a laptop or food or water preferably, because we're all healthy, because we're beauty gurus. No. To stay awake in class. You will have trouble paying attention sometimes, especially if the material is really boring, which it will be. You will have one class that you despise more than anything in the world. And I know that you're not really supposed to bring laptops to do Facebook and whatnot, but literally, if you have to be on Facebook to stay awake, just mostly pay attention, but do it. And at least your brain is actively working, albeit on something else, but it's actively working, so it's not going to fall asleep, and you'll be able to pay attention more than you would if you're just like. So those are all my tips for you today. I'm sure I can come up with quite a few more, along with other tips that aren't so controversial, that are just helpful. I also have a few for bus tips and etiquette because, oh my god, that is so relevant in my life right now. If you'd like to see the videos I've just mentioned or some more school-related videos, because I am a teacher, this is kind of my thing, request them in the bottom bar below. Okay, it's been too long, guys, it's been too long. Request them in the comments below, because that's where you can put things yourself in. Yeah. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!